Guys, Mojo here, and I just wanted to say that you're going to notice that we kind of backtrack a little bit. That's because I didn't know that I had this content. I couldn't find it, and then it ended up being saved in for 2016 somehow. Maybe I didn't set the date in my GoPro. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. We're going to backtrack, do some fuel, and some intake manifold stuff. So I hope you guys like the video, and I'll see you guys at the end. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm not going to get you dizzy, so I'm going to stand still for once. Anyway, today we have a few parts. So these are 1/8 inch NPT to 1/4 inch NPT adapters, and these will actually go on my intake manifold. I have a 2-bar map sensor, which is from an SRT4. So basically you're going to need this to run the adequate map reading for the Procharged, and then we have some insulation for heat. It's like heat wrap basically, but it's for my vacuum lines so they don't melt. Then I have my injectors and some Holley stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to test fit these fittings on my intake manifold, and then we're gonna get back on fuel. Okay, so we have a 1/4 inch NPT hole here, and then we have 3 1/8 inch, and I need, or I want, I guess I don't need, to run the 1/4 inch all the way around. We're just gonna see if these fit on all of them, because if they don't fit, then we're gonna have a problem. So if all 3 of these fit, and the fitting that I'm using for that first hole, or that last one for you guys, fits, then we might be throwing an intake manifold on in the next couple days. Oh snap, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're in business. Yes, sir. Let's get it, baby. I figured I was going to actually bottom out, but yeah, I think we do have that valley, so we gain a little bit of depth this way. So that's really, really good news, guys. So that means I'm going to put some thread sealant on these, install them with this fitting, and then we're good to go. Let's get it. So we're also going to be trying to install this map sensor. So what's really cool about these Holley intakes is they have not only a hole on the bottom or the top, but both. So I have my factory one right here with the bolts that it came with. I'm just going to compare plugs here, see how we look. They look identical, so that's pretty good. It's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this. Actually, I want to lube this O-ring up really quick, and then I'll push it in. And nothing crazy, guys. This is just a little bit of tap magic, just enough to lubricate this, and just like that. So I'm pretty sure that map sensor orientation doesn't matter whether it's up here or down there. It shouldn't matter. I'm just gonna go ahead and bolt it in. I'm gonna go ahead and install these. So like I said before, so it's an 1/8 inch NPT thread here, and then on the other side it's an adapter. So basically you have a small thread here, larger thread here for 1/4 inch NPT. So that's what this is. Instead of tapping these and making them all 1/4 inch, I just decided to get these couplings, or adapter is really what they're called. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some thread seal on all 3 of these and install them. If you're looking for this exact same setup and you want these fittings, here's the part number from Milton. I'm going to be using a 5/8 wrench and some Permatex thread sealant with PTFE to tighten these up. Traditionally, people like to use thread tape, and this thread sealant is just like a paste, and it looks way more professional, so that's what I like to run. I did want to add that this is brass going into aluminum, so it's extremely soft metal that will strip easily, so just be very careful. I just want to make sure that the depth is the same on all 3. Pretty dang close, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw this on. This is going to be a fitting for my catch cam, so that will route up through the front or around the back. I don't really know yet, but it's going to be sick either way. If you're looking for the part number for the 2-bar map sensor, here it is. So you're going to remember the P's for this one. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Shout out to Uncle Art for teaching me that one, because I did not plan this out. I had all my fittings ready to go besides the fitting that goes from here to the catch can. I thought for sure I had them. What it is a 1/4 inch 90 with 3/8 push to connect hose. So this is my catch can, and it's 3/8 NPT. So basically what it's gonna end up looking like is like this, push to connect fittings coming off of them. It's gonna be sick, no question about it, but I definitely need that 1/4 inch NPT threads to 3/8 push to connect, which sucks. Dang it, so I can't mount my intake. Not a huge deal, but it just sucks. Okay, so since nobody in the LX platform universe wants to tell anybody how to do anything, this is how I have to run the fuel lines. And if you're doing this the exact same way as me, you have to run them this way. So I have my AN fittings, my 90s, -6, -8, pointed towards the trunk, because what I'm gonna do is hook these around, and then they'll attach here and they'll kind of sit underneath the seat. If I have to make some kind of rectangle bracket, I will, but that's gonna be the best way in order to keep these from getting damaged inside the cabin. They have to be in the cabin. There's no room between the chassis and the tank. Have a couple grommets here. I had to drill a few holes in order to run them through so they're at a good angle. I'm underneath the car. Okay, so underneath the car, and here's how they look like from underneath. Come through. They have to be buttoned up for one final time, so just bear with me here. Come through. I took off this splash guard, mounted one here. These are just self-tappers for now. I hate self-tappers, but they're for mock-up purposes. They're for mock-up purposes only. I have another self-tapper here, and it's gonna hide behind this. And I get it. I know what you guys are gonna say. Oh, you're in the fender well. It's AN line. It's secured. Nothing is gonna damage this thing unless something catastrophic happens. And I actually thought I had to cut this, and I did, so I don't. And I don't want this flap around. So you don't have to cut this if you're doing this the exact same as me. I'm just gonna run 3 zip ties and have the end of it pointing that way. You won't even be able to tell. So, and they're gonna run over here underneath the frame right here, and they're gonna come under. I don't have this where it's gonna be, so bear with me. They'll go underneath. And I landed my fuel filter here. It's a 10 micron -8, and here, out here. I'm gonna mount my fuel pressure regulator here, and then it's gonna go straight from the filter to the rail around. I've already told you guys a few times, but that's how I'm gonna do it. It's gonna work really, really well. It's gonna be hidden, and it'll be safe. Okay, so fuel line is ran up until this point. I can't terminate these ends. I keep saying terminate because I'm in the electrical field, or the electrical trade. But anyway, I need to get a fitting here. It needs to be like a 120 or a 150, between like 120 and 160, maybe in like a 110 degree fitting. Anyway, it's kind of pointless. But as you can see, this is the angle that's going to come in at, and I don't want to kink it. So they sell fittings that go at weird angles. So I'm just going to get one of those bad boys. They're about 25 bucks. So I'm not going to put my inner fender well back on. It's pretty much where it's going to be though, guys. I like how this sits because it's not kinked. And it's tucked away back here so that inner fender liner isn't rattling up against it. So it's nice. Next thing I'm going to do, I got some cardboard here, and I'm going to test some fabrication skills. So I'm going to use these 2 bolts. These are traditionally from a 5.7 head. This is a EGR port. Well, since this is a 6.1 head, I don't have to retain that since I didn't use EGR. So that means that I'm going to use these 2 holes to make some kind of bracket that sits right here to house my fuel pressure regulator. So we're going to go ahead and try that, take some measurements, kind of use this cardboard to make a bracket, and then we have some aluminum back here. Shout out to Brandon that we're going to try to make something up. So, I mean, I've got a grinder and I've got some brains, so let's try this. Alright guys, so sorry if there's some wind noise, but here's kind of what I came... You cannot make that shit up.
Sorry about the wind noise.
Welcome Sam back to the channel. Been a minute, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Alright guys, so this is kind of what I came up with. Let me show you what it looks like in the engine bay. Sorry if I'm screaming, I have earplugs on. So I'm going to make this at a... You can't see it. I'm going to make this one, this angle, a little bit more the same as this one, but this is kind of what it comes up as. So that's going to be pretty sick remotely. It'll look really good because we'll end up curving some some of the sharp edges and it'll look nice. So instead of it being exactly like that, I made this angle a little bit closer to that. So we could always make them more symmetrical later on, but we're gonna go ahead and cut this out and then see where it gets us. So here's what we ended up with, guys. Not too bad, honestly. I'm not surprised because, you know, not me, but pretty damn good. Let's test fit it. It's the first try, so you know that I'm not BSing. And sheesh! Look at that, Sam.
Yes.
That's dope. Okay, guys, so I'm extremely proud of this. I only had to modify it a couple times, but it is plumb. Not necessarily this being level because this is not a factory cut, but this is a factory cut and it's plumb. So it's perfectly level vertically. So now I need to match this to this. So this needs to be plumb and then this needs to be square, like level. So anyway, it fits phenomenally. This is gonna be badass right here. I might even lower it a little bit, like right here, chop off the top a little bit, but that's gonna be kick-ass right there. That's gonna be dope. That's sick. I'm super excited. Here it is, guys. This is plumb. I need to get this square. With that, I'm gonna take that off, take it to Uncle Art's, and we're gonna make this thing look pretty. All right, everybody, so as you can see, here is how the fuel lines are gonna be routed, and I kind of have the fuel fittings, the supply and return lines routed how I want. So I'm just gonna mark where this is gonna be, cut it with a angle grinder, and about as simple as that. You want to make sure that you tape the area that you're going to cut first so it doesn't leave any fraying nylon or stainless steel. All right, so this is what I have. I just put it in place, marked where I'm going to cut it, and we're going to use the angle grinder to cut it. About as simple as that. You want to make sure you have this painter's tape on there, like I said. Okay, so this is a 6-inch angle grinder. I recommend a 4-inch angle grinder, but we're just going to send it. Make sure we're pointed down. That's it. Simple as that. Super easy, and when you put painter's tape on there, it keeps all of the nylon strands together along with the stainless lines, so nothing pokes out, and it'll be super easy to put a fitting on it. Okay, so I have this fitting split apart here into the two pieces, and this side will actually go just like this. You want to keep a little bit of tape on there, not so much tape that it's going to stick out of the fitting, but just enough to keep the nylon strands from fraying out when you're pushing this fitting on. So to go this piece first, you'll screw that on, and then you screw this fitting on, and it's pretty simple. I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. Now we're going to push this fitting back on, and now this time I'm going to put a little bit of lubricant on the inside of this, just a little bit. Oh yeah. And as you can see, it's all the way butted up against the threads. So now we are going to take a little bit more lubricant and put it on this. So the idea of this fitting is, as you tighten this in, it expands the inside of your hose, and then that in turn makes a tight seal, and it won't leak. There are no O-rings. It simply seals itself. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to kind of pick up where we left off, and you guys saw a little bit more than what you were supposed to. So we're going to finish up fuel, do some intake manifold installation, and in the next video, we actually got a visit from one of my buddies, Danny. Has a modified G8. A couple years ago, we shot some videos. He's actually bought a new G8 since then, but you guys will really enjoy that. We get to go for a ride, have some fun, and that being said, I'm not going to drag this video any farther. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Go ahead and check out me on TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. And hit up shopmojogt.com if you guys want to cop some merch. And thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.